Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing great today. In today's lesson, we want to look at a very important subject, and that subject is Sql Loader. Sql Loader is part of the utilities that comes with your database. And this Sql Loader is actually a bulk loader utility that is used for moving data from external files into the Oracle database. Now, your external files could be maybe your .csv or any other flat file. So let me give you a quick example. Let's assume that you have this file, test.csv. I'll open with Notepad, and then you can look at the data. CSV stands for comma separated values. Now, if you look at this data, you can see that they are all separated by comma. Okay, so let's say we want to load this data into the database. This is a dummy data actually. Okay, my friend's name is Richard Williams, so that's the name I'm using. So let's say we want to load this data into the database. How will we do this? In situations like this, you use the utility known as Sql Loader. To be able to do this, the first thing you want to do is to create a directory anywhere. You could create a directory anywhere, but I choose to create this directory in the /u01 directory. So let me quickly open a new terminal, and then I'll create this directory using the command mkdir /u01/loader. Okay, meaning everything that has to do with Sql Loader will be in this directory. So the directory has been created successfully. Now, the next thing we want to try to do is to move that flat file, that .csv file, test.csv, into this directory. Recall that the file is resident in my hosting PC, my Windows machine. So to be able to move that file to this directory on my Linux VM, we'll use a software known as WinSCP, right? Okay, so very quickly, let me call that up. It's right here, WinSCP, and then I'll try to log into my Linux VM. Let me quickly type my password. So it's currently authenticated. So we are connected. Now the file we want to move is this one. And where are we moving it to? Let me quickly do this. Sorry. So I had to use the slash so that we'll get to the root of the directory, right? So this is slash, and then where are we going? U01, and then we created the directory loader. Okay, so I'll quickly open this, and then this file is saved on my desktop in a folder called SQL scripts. So what do? I'll quickly drag this test.csv to this folder /u01/loader. Okay, and then we are done. So I'm going to close this real quick. Now the next thing I want to try to do, to be sure that the file is there, I'll open the home directory, click on other locations, go to computer, U01, and then if I open the folder loader, you'll see the test.csv file. If you double click to open with the text editor, you can see all the details, right? Okay, so let me quickly close this, and then let's go over to the next step. Now, the next thing we want to try to do is to create a table. It's very important to note that when creating a table that will accommodate your external data, try as much as possible to create the table with exact data type and columns as contained in your flat file, right? So to do that, I'll quickly execute this query, create table test_load. That's the name of the table. and then see the 3 columns that we saw. The first column is actually a number, that's the employee number. And then the second column is the first name. And then the third column is the last name. Okay, so I'm going to create this table. This is the table where we want to load the data. Let me quickly create a table. You can see table has been created. Now, if we select everything from the table, you will see that we don't have any data in that table. So let's move on. Now, the next thing we want to try to do is to create what is known as a control file. What does this control file do? It's like an algorithm that tells the database where to pick the data from and where to load the data to, right? So for that, we'll use these details to create the control file. It says load data in file, and then you put the location where the CSV file is, and then you use the keyword append into table test_load. This is the table we just created. Fields terminated by comma, and then you put the column name the same way they are on the table. Okay, so for us to be able to create the control file, there are 2 options. We can either use the touch command to create the file, or we can use the VI editor. I prefer to use the VI editor. Now, another thing you need to take note of is the fact that you need to create this control file in the same directory where you have your CSV file. So for that, I will quickly move to that directory /u01/loader. So I'm currently in that directory, and then I'm going to use the VI command, VI space test.ctl. This is the control file, so I'll hit the I button to insert, and then I'll come here and then copy this from here down to this place. Copy, and then come back here and paste. So we now have our control file. What do? Escape, Shift plus column, WQ, and enter to save. Now we have our control file. The next thing we'll try to do is to call up the SQL loader. Now for that, we will execute this on our virtual machine, on our terminal. You can see the command SQL LD arrow, that's short form for SQL loader, and then the control is stating the location of the control file, test.ctl. And then we're also asking the loader to create a log file known as test.log, so that everything that happens during the process can actually be recorded in that log file. Okay, so let's quickly copy this, and then let's go to our terminal and paste. So if I click the enter, it will request for a username. Now I want this to be done in the HRO schema. So I'll type HRO/HR3, that's the password, at ORCLPDB. So this is the pluggable database where the HRO user is found. I'll quickly enter. Wow. You can see 19,900 rows successfully loaded. And then it tells you check the log file. So if we go to this location, we can view the log file to see details of this operation. So to quickly check this, I'll just copy this, and then I'll say cat Okay, so you can see all the details of this operation. It said 19,999 rows successfully loaded, one row not loaded due to data errors. Perhaps, that was a bad record. So the SQL loader did not load that record. However, because of this, we would see a file that we did not create known as bad file. So if you check that bad file, you'll be able to see why the data was not loaded. Okay. But basically, you could see that in split seconds, we're able to load almost 20,000 records into the database using the SQL loader. So to confirm that the data has been successfully loaded to the table, we're going to select all from test_load, right? So I'll quickly execute this, select all from test_load, and then you can see that we have all the data loaded. So guys, this is just one example to show you how to use the SQL loader. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting to you. If it was, kindly like it and share it widely. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out whenever I upload another valuable content. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.